Hey guys, in this video today, I'm going to show you how to set up two different types of binders for running your household. This will be for emergencies, and then I'll be making another one soon, hopefully more laid out eventually, but I'm just doing it with pen, Sharpie, and paper right now in another video. So today I'm going to show you the emergency, kind of how I'm laying it out. In my mind, I think worst comes to worst, I'm a single parent. Nobody can get a hold of me if they're babysitting kids, or nobody can find me because it decided to flood and I'm trapped somewhere, or the babysitter is with the kids and an emergency happens, they eat some cleaner. You just don't ever know. And so I thought we would put this together, and I hope that this helps and inspires you. No matter what age you are, no matter if you have kids or not, no matter what their ages are, that you think to put something like this together that's accessible. So if anybody comes looking for you, or you need emergency numbers and things like that, immediately you know exactly where it's at. So I just put this for the pretty look. But for the first page, what I'm planning to do this is actually rip this out of this notebook and laminate it. And I'm going to have a few pages put together, and I'm just going to do a ring around it where I can hang it on the side of my fridge. But this is for emergencies. Obviously, I didn't fill out my information because, you know, the internet. But this is the main one that I would feel like would be most important. So the emergency number obviously is going to be 911 if you're in the U.S., but wherever you're at, whatever the emergency number is to get the cops or an ambulance, you would put it here. And then always have your home address and the main person in the house's number, because if the babysitter is calling 911, they may not know your number and home address right offhand and your name. They should know your name. But, you know, even us, when we call 911, sometimes can freeze up. So put your address and your number there, because they know exactly where to come if they can't track you. Poison control, you never know when you're going to need that. Police, local to police department, local fire department. The parent's physician, if you get really sick and your parents have to come looking for this or somebody, you have the number and the name already there. Same for your kid. And then emergency numbers for family. That would be, I guess, if you had to go to the hospital or something, that if ambulance came and picked you up, you could tell them, this is right in my kitchen, this has everything on it that you need, and you'd put the name, who they are, and their number. And if you had to evacuate, you always want to have something planned out as to where you are going. And so for people that have pets, obviously you need options for them as well. So you would go in this order. Number 1 would be the first place you go to. If it's not available, you go to 2. If that's not available, you go to number 3. And the same thing for the humans or the people in the house. I put an extra one because there's a little bit more options for us than there are pets, but we still do have some good options to send them to if worse comes to worse. The next page is going to be, where do you keep your first aid kit? Honestly, I do not have a first aid kit or an emergency kit, which I'm actually going to be working on putting together and showing y'all in another video. But in my advice, I believe, I just haven't put any together. I used to have some before I moved here, and I just haven't done it. But I recommend for a first aid kit to have one in every vehicle y'all travel in. You know, just the basic things. But again, I'll do a video once I get all that together. Have one in every vehicle you travel in. Have one in your home. If you have a camper that you like to go on trips, have one in there as well. And then an emergency kit, if you had to leave in an evacuation, you could only grab the main things. Already have a bag for each person in your household with some money, maybe a card game, 2 pairs of clothes, socks, some food that can be eaten right then and there. Little things you're going to need to make it by until you can get out of that emergency or make it somewhere safe. The third and final page for this little emergency planner that somebody may need to use one time or another, hopefully not, fingers crossed, is a household member info, like for information. So every person in your household should be listed, and put their date of birth, their health information, if they have diabetes or autism or anything like that, allergies. The most important things that people in an ambulance are going to be wondering in an emergency, put them underneath their name. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.